Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of our image slider series. In the first part we finished with the styling of our slider, but for now our slider is not functional, so this is what we are going to do next. And in this part we are going to make the slider functional on the click on these arrows. So when I click to the left arrow, I want my slides to go to the left, and when I click to the right arrow, I want my slides to go to the right. Okay, let's get started. Okay guys, JavaScript time. Alrighty, let's first grab everything we need from the DOM. We're gonna need each and every image here, so I will create a constant called image slides, and this will be document query selector all. I want to select my slides container class, and inside that all the image tag. This is how we will select all the images. All right, next we need our arrows, and arrow left and right. So we will create a constant called arrow left. Of course, you cannot have dashes inside your JavaScript, so I will use a camel case convention like this. This time we only have one, so we'll use query selector and we will select our arrow left, and I will copy this down and just change it to arrow right. Okay, now I have my arrows and I have my images. Alrighty. Before we start working on our functionality, let's have a look at our website and let's see what we need to achieve. In fact, let me comment this. Let me comment overflow hidden on our container and see what happens. If you have a look now, here are all of my 5 images. Now all of them have a width of exactly 420 pixels. So I will uncomment this again. So what I want to do, I want, when this arrow is clicked, I want to translate to the X, so horizontally, all of my images to the exactly 420 pixels, because that's their width. So I want to translate X on all of the images minus 420 pixels. And then when I click to this, I want to get them back to the original position. Alrighty, so let's implement this in our JavaScript. For that, I will create 2 functions. First function will be called previous slide, and the second function will be called next slide. Just like that. And then I will bind on-click events on these arrows to these 2 functions. I'll say arrow left and I'll add event listener. Of course, we are interested in the click event, and when that click event happens, I will call the function called previous slide. And on my right arrow, I will do the same. Just instead of the previous slide, I will be calling next slide function. All right, let's now work on these 2 functions. Like I told you, when my arrow is clicked, I want to translate our slides to the X axis, so horizontally. Therefore, here I will say image slides, and because I have more of them, I will loop through all of them. So I will say for each, let's say for each slide, I will run a function. And what I will do, I will change the style of each slide. And in particular, oops, sorry. Okay, style. And I want to change transform property. And I will put this transform property to what? Now, in the first, when the first time this function arrow is clicked, I want to translate it by 420 pixels. Like I told you, this is the width of our slides. Therefore, here I should put translate x to minus 420 pixels, right? Like this. All right, for the moment, let's comment this function because it will cause errors. And let's see what we get with this line of code. So right now, only arrow right should be working. Okay, when I click now, as you can see, I have my next slide. But the problem is nothing, when I click some other time, nothing else is happening. That's why, because I translated exactly by 420 pixels. So I need to have a way to, when the next time this arrow is clicked, I make this double. So if I put it to 840, let's have a look now what happens. As you can see now, it's exactly the third slide. But I should have a way to control this. So I will define a helper variable called images slide. So I'll say let, not images slide, but let's say slide index. And initially this slide index will be 0. Just like that. And also I will define another variable called slide width. And this variable will initially be 420 pixels. So this is how I will control my position of my slides. But since I don't have hard-coded values here, I want to inject JavaScript. Instead of regular quotes, I will transform this to backticks. And then I will put translate x, and here inside the parentheses I want to put some JavaScript. So therefore the syntax is $ curly braces. And what I will put here, I will put slide index times slide width. Okay, if we save this now and test out, when I click to the right arrow, nothing happens. Why is nothing happening? Because my index is 0, so this gives me 0, so I'm not translating this at all. If my slide index is 1, if I save now, okay, nothing is happening. Why is nothing happening? Oh, because very important, I forgot to put pixels here. So I need to have pixels. Okay, let's save this and try it again. So now I'm moving to the next slide. Okay, that's great. So if I put the index of 3, when I click, it will give me exactly the 4th slides, because now I only need to find a way to, on each click here, on each calling of this next slide function, I move change the value of my index. Okay, so before we translate our images here, now let me show you what happens if I only increase the slide index on each iteration, each calling with this function. Okay, let's have a look. My slides are successfully changing, but when I get to my last slide, okay, now I have some problems because my index is going to the slides I don't have here. So therefore we need to prevent that behavior. Thus, instead of just increasing the slide index every time, I will do the check, and I will check if the slide index is greater or equals to what? To image slides dot length, meaning if we reached the end of our images. Okay, if that's the case, so this is the syntax for the ternary operator. We have my condition and then a question mark. Next to the question mark is what happens if it is true, and then I have a colon, and here what happens if the condition is falsy. Alrighty, so if my index goes to the end of my slides, I don't want to increment it here. This will be here in the false statement. And if it goes to the end, I want to reset my index and put it back to 0. Alrighty, let's save this and test if we were successful. Okay, so click, next slide, next slide, next slide. And now if I click now, I should get back to the first slide. No, I have not put back to the first slide. Let's see what's going on. Do I have some errors in the console? No, I do not. Okay, let's also console log slide index to see what is the problem here. Let's try again. So with the first click, my index is 1. That's good. Then 2, then 3, then 4. And when I click now, oh, it goes to 5. It should not be 5. So here, so it's not images slides dot length, but I need to put -1 because it should never go to 5, because I have 5 images. My last index should be 4. Alrighty, let's save this again and test it. So now when I get, what is going on now? Alright, let's console log again our okay, we have some problems, obviously, that are not planned. Okay, let's again console log our slide index. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's not resetting back to 0. Let's have a look. Why is that? So if my slide index goes until slide images dot length -1, in that case, oh, I only put 0. I should declare that my slide index is equals to 0. Okay, that was the problem. And else my slide index, I'm just increasing my slide index. Alrighty, let's test it out now. So the moment of truth. Okay, now it's working. So when I got back to my last slide, which is this one, I start all over again. Okay, nice. Now let's uncomment this out and let's work on my previous slide functionality. For that, I'm each time I'm decreasing a slide index for 1. Okay, so my check should be if my slide index is less or equals to 0. Okay, so I'll check if my slide index is less or equals to 0. If it is, what do I want to do? I want to put it back to the last index. So I will say slide index equals, I will use this line, so image slides dot length minus 1. All right, and then if it isn't less or equals to 0, I want to decrease it by 1. Okay, and that's our previous, and then when I take care of my index, I will just copy this whole line because I'm doing exactly the same. And I should, because I'm copying this, I should put it in the separate function, but let's first test it to see if it works. Okay, now this is working already. Now when this is the end of my slides. Let's test it, the previous slides function. Okay, now I'm back to my fourth, to my third, to my second, to my first slide, and let's check our condition. Okay, our condition is working. Alrighty, so now I have my arrows controlling my slides. Now, it would be nice if I have some transition when my slides are changing, because right now I don't have any. So next we will put that inside our CSS. Okay, so I will jump quickly to my CSS, and I should put some transition on our images. So my images are inside my slides container. So I will say slides container images, and I will put transition. Let's say I want to put it on the transform property, which is what we are doing here in our function. Okay, and I want to put 0.3 seconds, and let's say is in and out for the timing function. Okay, if I save this now, let's have a look at our slides. Okay, so as you can see, now I have some smooth transition between our slides. That's awesome. Okay, now like I told you, I'm gonna put this inside, because it's the same logic, inside the separate function. So I will define a helper function called update slider, and I will copy this whole line, and I will remove it here. Oops. And instead of that, I will call update slider function, and I'll do the same here. So here also I will call update slider function. Alrighty, this now I should not have any changes. I just put my logic for the translation inside the separate function, and I'm calling this in both my function previous and next slides. But first I'm changing my slide index, of course. Alrighty, let's test this. Okay, next slide is working. Let's check previous slide. Okay, previous slide is also working. Amazing. Okay, we had some bugs, but that's the part of our job, of course. It was of good old console log helped us to overcome this. So this is our basic functionality, and this is where I will stop this second video. In the next video we will apply what should we do? We can apply auto slide functionality. So when my page loads, I want my slides to start automatically. I want to go to the next slide after some time, and because we need a little time for that, I can also implement keyboard listeners, so we move our slides on the key press. Alrighty, that should be it for this video. I thank you for watching. Lots of love to all of you, and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel as always. Again, lots of love and bye bye.